Hello and welcome to the live stream live. I am your host, Joshua Schubart, and I hope you are having a beautiful Tuesday, New York evening or afternoon or morning or in the future if you are watching the replay. Or if it's tomorrow, if you're watching internationally. Thank you so much for being here. As usual, we are live on 4 platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook Live, and did I say YouTube? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I didn't say TikTok. So it's 4 platforms all at the same time. Hello, everybody. Yeah. I will answer questions and take your comments as long as they are not inappropriate or hypersexual in nature. You know the deal. Today I have a wonderful guest. Oh God, I forgot to ask her how to pronounce her name properly. But Susan Hurwitz is going to be coming on. She will tell me how to pronounce her last name properly when she pops up. Sorry, Susan, I love you. Yes, but first, let's do how I'm feeling, what I'm watching, and what I'm reading. I'll start with what I'm feeling. Because it's kind of a lot right now. Dealing with specifically the armed forces being deployed in LA because of some protests that weren't asked for the National Guard. Now there's Marines going in and blah blah. Feels a little terrible, a little fascism, a little crazy, and I don't like it. I don't know how else to say that. I know I've been. Would you like to know what you do for a living? Hey, so I'm from New York and I'm an actor. I feel like you would know that if you followed me already. But I'm I'm from New York and I'm an actor. So if you just hopped on this stream randomly, cool. Thanks for being here. But that's what I do. What do you do? Anyway, so yeah. I've been talking a lot over the past weeks about all the things that have been going on and how it's been crazy from bills and people being oppressed and people being erased from history. And I've been talking a lot about optimism and a lot about banding together and staying strong. And I am still going to echo that. I'm still going to parrot that. We need each other. We need our communities, and we need to stay together. It is extremely distressing to see our military. Oh yeah, sorry. So not a little. So Brendan says, not a little. I studied fascism for 10 years. It is fascism. Trump is a fascist and MAGA is a fascist movement like a textbook. No, it's true. I may be trying to be a bit more I don't know, sparkly hands with it, but it is at the very least totalitarianism, which is very horrifying. But it's certainly like an oligarchy problem. It's everything that we've read about. All of our fucking science fiction is coming true. It feels very bad. But what we can do is we can call our elected officials, at least for now. We can write them, we can bother them, we can protest. If you can't protest, then if you don't want to go out into the streets, then you can organize, you can write, you can amplify other people's voices that are currently out in the main fight. Now more than ever, I feel like I've said this every fucking week, but now more than ever, we need each other. We need people who can see clearly what we need to be fighting for. We stand to lose so much, but we stand to gain everything. Our country is built on immigration. We are all immigrants. All of our ancestors are immigrants. No one is from America. We built ourselves up on the backs of ourselves and our ancestors and the people that came here. We largely banded together and we tried to make a better place for ourselves, for our children, for our children's children. I'm a father of 2 girls. Things that have been happening around the country with women's rights and healthcare and just everything is getting particularly horrifying. And when you have children, you want to leave the world better for them than what you had. At least that's what I've always believed. So the way that we can do that is by not getting bored, not having apathy, really looking at stuff and really taking a stand for the things that we believe in, for the things that we know are correct. Not that we're being told, not that is being told to us from big, strong man leadership, from organizations that benefit from that particular type of leadership. It's grassroots community organization. It's people that are progressive and want to move the world forward, that want to move the needle in a positive way. Um, if you're one of those people, fantastic. And even if you think that you can't make a difference, even if you're just talking into the internet on a microphone, trying to get people to hear something new, or to just think a little bit differently in a more positive way, to not get caught up in so much negativity, then that, my God, that can make a world of difference. So that's what I'm feeling right now. I am still optimistic. I believe that we can do this. I believe that we can overcome this bullshit. We've done it over and over again in our country's history. We have changed things. We've overcome stuff. We've moved the needle in a positive, progressive way. A lot of the times, people have been moved kicking and screaming, and sometimes that's what it takes. But I believe we will come out of this a better country, a more evolved and intelligent people, and hopefully we won't have to handle this for another 100 years or so. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. What I'm reading, I'm currently reading a play over and over again, because I have a callback for it on next Tuesday, which I'm like super amped about. I don't want to like talk about it too much, because I don't want to be like, oh, this is what the thing is, and then it doesn't happen, and then I go, and then I have to say like, it didn't happen. But if it happens, I'll be sure to tell you about it. I have a very small role in this movie called Friendship, with Tim Robinson and what's his name, Paul Rudd. I am in a scene where I am one of the neighbors, and it's funny, and you can see me. I'm on screen for quite a bit. I don't know if it's still in the movie theater, but I know that you can rent it on Apple Plus. I finished Andor, which seems funny that I just did that whole speechy talk about let's band together and shit. But Andor is incredible. It's an incredible show, and it's not just because it's Star Wars. Thank you, Brendan. I will break all my legs. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's just it's so layered. Like, I love Star Wars. I'm a big nerd person, but this show is way more than just your normal Star Wars fun time. It's layered. Oh God, I just keep saying layered, but like, it's just such a mirror for our modern times, and it just feels so topical and insanely real, and alive with like modern fucking zeitgeist, which is I know that's what you're supposed to do when you're making sci-fi, but like, fuck, it just felt good to watch it. It felt so nice. And I started watching Hacks with my wife. So Hacks has been an incredible it's a half-hour comedy that stars Gene Smart, and it is so goddamn good. It's so funny, it's so poignant, it's so like incredibly great to watch that show with my wife, just because like there is more content. I'm not gonna say there are more TV shows and movies being made for women, like for that audience. But there's still, I feel like Hacks really fucking hits it perfectly. Just so my wife is not in the industry; she's in industry adjacent because she's married to me. Um, so it's really cool to watch her watch stuff that she really likes, because she can't really explain in like a industry way why she likes a thing, but she can tell me how it makes her feel. And Hacks is one of those things where she says all the time that it makes her feel seen, like she relates to it, um, and I love that. I love watching her love something, especially in this industry that I love so much. It reminds me why I stick with this hard ass thing because people that I love it, and they get things from it, and it makes them feel good and special. So yeah, well, that is the opening. And I've said how I'm feeling, which is, good and stuff, and what I'm watching and what I've been reading. Now I'd like to bring up Susan, who I first worked with on The Tick. She wrote a bunch of it, and she EP'd a bunch of it, and she was just like this incredible positive force on set. Um, I got to know her more and more over the years, and she's just so intelligent, so creative, so compassionate, and just cares so deeply for the art that she creates. Um, in a industry where it's so easy to get jaded and forget why you do what you do and why you're in love with what you do. Um, Watching her work, working with her, talking to her, talking through scenes with her, talking through character with her and the rest of the team was always a fucking joy. Um, and The Tick was my first big thing, and I was scared for a lot of the beginning process of it. And Susan made me feel welcome, and that's a big deal. So anyway, without further ado, here she is. Please pronounce first and last your last name for me.
Oh, it's Hurwitz and Arneson.
Hurwitz-Arneson.
Hurwitz? Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
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 Hi.
Hi. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. I'm glad we could finally do it.
I know. Yeah, you've been busy with your new job that we can't talk about really.
I could talk a little bit. I could talk around it.
Yeah, so you're working on a spin-off animation of a hit animation that people like a lot.
Yes.
Cool. Right?
Secretive. Yeah,
something.
I would love to talk more about it, but it hasn't been announced, and I'm afraid of getting in trouble.
Well, I don't want to get you in trouble on my show. This is a fun time show. It's not a
totally.
not a sad time show.
Totally. No, but it's been real fun. Just started it a couple months ago, and it's been great. Great people, super fun project. Totally my jam. A little left of center. IP. Very cool. It's fun.
Can we say what the genre is, or is that off limits? Superhero-y. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's a superhero-y spin-off animation show that's extremely popular. I can't wait until you can tell everybody what it is. And
me too.
Is the experience positive?
It's been amazing.
That's great.
It's the process of putting the show together is very different from anything I've ever worked on before. But like South Park was the first thing I ever did, and that room is so fucking weird. Just how the whole process works. So so weird is all relative to me ever since then.
So you worked on that show for what, like 70 episodes or something?
6 seasons.
Six seasons.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's a long time to be on a show, especially a show like South Park.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long time. It was cool. It was, I think I had the show is non-guild, non-union. So I tried for a while to scoot out and to start doing something new, because the thing about South Park is it's real insular.
Yeah.
Sort of like its own little island of misfit toys. And so you're not meeting people, you're not going up the ranks, you're just sort of in
in
this
South
thing,
Park
which is
land.
an
Yeah.
amazing thing to be in, but it's yeah, you're not meeting people. I still to this day people go, do you know so and so? And I'm always like, no, I know fucking nobody in this business, because I spent the first half of my career in one room eating tacos with Matt and Trey. So it's like I didn't meet people in different shows and whatever, but
Is it Animation Guild or is it just nothing?
it was nothing at the
Okay.
time. I don't know what they are now, but at the time, yeah, they were a non-union shop,
Okay.
which was sort of tough. But yeah, so I was there. I had wanted to get out, but it wasn't. I had gotten the gigs like pretty much straight out of film school, which is crazy, and
Wow.
I didn't really understand the business and agents and how I should be controlling my career, and I just didn't. I didn't know what I was fucking doing. So I
Wait,
had
wait,
to
wait.
fire
You
my
you went to a film school and no one taught you how to be in the business? That's
yeah,
so weird.
it's so it says everything about film school. No,
Yeah.
I went to UCLA to get my master's,
Yeah.
and great supportive program at the time. I don't know if it's still the same, but like they were great about setting you up as a writer, in a really supportive, find your voice, find your process, all those really important things, but they really didn't do a great job of the business side of it all, and so there was a real huge learning curve that I sort of got fucked by.
I
And
think that that has
yeah.
only recently changed in all of arts schools. Like when I was going through acting school, no one said shit to us about the business. It was about
Yeah,
honing your craft and blah blah. So when I
absolutely.
got spat out, it was the same thing. Like I was like, "What do I do? I don't know what's happening."
Yeah.
Like so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I graduated in June and started on South Park in August. So it was like I didn't there was not a lot of time to figure it out. So for me to get out of South Park, to move on from South Park, I actually had to fire the agent that I signed with while I was in film school, and have somebody uh, who was excited about me and my voice and my career to help me, you know, to start making steps in different directions.
So that's really interesting, right? And that's not really a thing that I think is like talked about a lot. Just because in America, the like, not that writers aren't appreciated by like actors and shit, but like over in England, like the writer is like God over there. And like here it's a different kind of conversation where it's
Oh
like
yeah,
no one really knows what the fuck the writer is does like
yeah.
um
You would think it's
and
in the
just
title, but
yeah, I mean it is in the title, but people are like, don't the actors just make it up? And it's like, no, the actors don't just make it up. Like and I've heard that so many times where it's
yeah.
like the writer writes and then we say the things that they write and
Well, and
and
then the director shoots the things we tell them to. I mean, for me. It's like I you know, and I said this a bunch during the strike and stuff. Is like the writer is the only one in the chain of the whole creative endeavor who starts with nothing, a
right.
blank page.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the process, hair, makeup, director, producer, everybody, nobody else starts with just a blank page but the writer.
Right.
So, the denigration, the putting down of writers goes back to old Hollywood. Really, it was, a bunch of my people, of uneducated Jews, my people who came up as ragmen and other things, who started working in 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 film because they weren't allowed into legit businesses. So, and then they came up and weren't necessarily educated, smart men, whatever, but didn't have formal education. And so then you have, really writers they had to control them, right? They had to dominate because there was a feeling of insecurity and wanting to keep down people that they felt were,
Sure.
whatever. So it's like you're not going to let drunken F. Scott Fitzgerald, who's um, going to come to Hollywood and write, you're gonna treat them like an employee. You're not going to treat them well. So it was set up by the Hollywood system from the early, not su- pretty much once the studio system became more
became a
ingrained,
thing. Yeah. No, that makes
I
sense.
think.
Well, I mean, like it makes sense that like because of like the power structure, right?
Right.
It's a classic capitalist power structure. Like I have the facilities and the places for you to make this stuff that you want to make, so you can go fuck yourself. Is like
Right.
essentially what it was, and like kind of what it's still is. Like it's not as terrible as it was, I guess, but it's different because it's largely run by like, I don't know, tech bros now versus creatives, and I would say that has hurt it more. Like since I mean at least in the beginning, like when we had the majors, like the like major, what was it, like 6 or 8 studios,
Mm-hmm.
um they were at least run by people who had worked on a set up until maybe like
People that
30,
loved movies and
yeah,
television.
30 years ago, 40
Yeah.
years ago maybe. Now it's all owned by banks and like boards and conglomerates and bullshit, so it's hard to find like the love from high up anymore. Like sure, there's ex- executives that really love
Yeah.
to make film, really love to make TV, but at the end of the day, they have to like put everything in their algorithm, and if it doesn't like hit like 9 fucking demographics at the same time, they're not gonna like make it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it and unfortunately there's a lot of fear right now in the industry. So I think that, taking those creative risks and championing things is not how it's being done anymore. That's why there's such a reliance on IP, because for some reason they believe, that guarantees stuff, which it's shown time and time again that the things that audiences are responding to, the things that audiences love, yes, they like certain things that are based on IP, but like,
Look at Sinners.
originals are look at Sinners, look at Adolescence, look at everything that wins awards. It's and awards aren't always the especially I think TV more than features in terms of recognition. Features don't always tend to be the big audience go-tos. Those seem to be more focused and arty. But like TV, like The Bear, and like like you keep look at like almost all the things that people watch, and talk about, and those water cooler moments, that that old school phrase is almost always originals.
Yeah, like
So
like look at Severance. Like that
yeah,
exploded in a way that they didn't even expect it to, because they were like, why? Who's gonna like this weird show? And it's like
yeah,
every fucking buddy is gonna like this show
yeah.
about
Yellow
a
Jackets,
yeah,
Hacks, like you were talking about earlier.
yeah.
Like the most popular comedy. So it's yeah, it's sort of crazy, but it's based on, I believe, fear.
It 100% is based on fear. Have you watched The Studio yet? The
Yeah,
Seth
I
Rogen show?
did. I did.
So
I did.
I had to watch that with my wife. So I watched the first episode, and it wasn't funny to me. It was so painful for me to watch it
That's how I
that
feel about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
but like I was like, sweetie, can you watch the show with me so you laugh and then I know when it's funny? Because I'm so triggered by this show. Like just like how, for like those that haven't like watched it yet, I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit, but like just the whole how they are trying to create this IP because of Barbie, and then they buy like fucking Kool-Aid, and then like Scorsese comes with this amazing script, and then they want to call it Kool-Aid, and then that kills this fucking movie. I was like, this happens all the time. Like people buy stuff to just put it on a shelf to just kill shit so that it won't compete with their stupid thing. And I was like, I was like, this is a comedy. It's supposed to be funny, and I'm just like, why did you kill Marty's fucking movie, you piece of shit? And then I watched it with my wife, and she was laughing, and I was like, okay, I can
Yeah,
laugh.
there's definitely like different watches for it because I have some people that I've talked to don't like it, and for me, it's like it's very inside baseball.
Hmm.
So there's like just if you work in the industry, you know you get it. So I mean, it went a little batshit. It went super batshit at the end,
Yeah,
but like slapsticky batshit, which I appreciate. But yeah, it's I really enjoyed it, but I just there are moments in it that it is sort of painful. It's like holiday dinners with your family.
yeah, yeah. That's true. So why writing for you, Susan? Like what was the thing that like hooked you into it and made you want to do this for your whole life?
I was, I didn't start off with film and television as my thing. My undergrad was journalism. And so I worked as a journalist for a while. And then I lived in DC right out of undergrad. And, I first lived in Pittsburgh, worked for an all news radio station, moved to DC and worked for nonprofits like newsletters and PR and that kind of writing. And I fucking hated it. Like 9 to 5 jobs. I was just like, man, I got
Boo.
like 3 hours of work. Why do I have to be here for 8 hours? Like, it makes no fucking sense to me. This is torture. And I was like tired of writing garbage. And I wasn't, I mean, I was always been a big, I still am, since I was a little kid. Like, I'm a huge reader and love story. Huge television watcher as a kid, Saturday morning cartoon, like all of it, just consuming comic books, love story.
Yeah.
And but sort of fell victim to the belief that like you can be a writer, but you have to do it within these certain lines. And then moved out here with my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, and just sort of like went to culinary school. And then it was like I missed using my brain, so I just sort of I found screenwriting and just put my feet on the path and never stopped. And that was, I graduated from film school in I think 2006.
That's so
So I've
interesting.
been doing it ever since. It was just sort of like I think I was looking for. I didn't think that novels were what I wanted to do, and I just sort of found the type of writing that worked for my voice that I loved. Sort
That's
of a
great. I
weird
mean, that's
path.
cool. Yeah, I mean, I found acting basically by accident. It wasn't a thing that I thought that it would never even was a thought. I mean,
Right.
until it basically found me one when I was in high school. I was on the football team. Surprise. and and I had a really bad stutter. I could maybe speak maybe like two or three words in a row at a time. I had just gotten into foster care. Like shit was all weird.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a lot.
and and then there was like there was an announcement for the school play. It was for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Um,
Classic.
classic. And I auditioned, and I could speak in complete sentences for the first time ever, because that's what art does. It like rewires your brain and like makes you a totally different person. And like I was like, this is it. I found this thing. I fuck this is it, and I never looked back. So yeah,
It's great.
it's crazy how you just like find it, or it falls right in front of you, or you fall into it like it
Yep.
happened with you. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. It's I think I think some people are born knowing what they want to do, and I think that's super rare. I think that for most of us, it's a journey,
Mm,
and I'm a real big believer. Hence the culinary school thing of trying shit out to try not to someday end up on a deathbed with regrets of I should have tried, I should have done. Like I worked as a chef briefly, and realized, no, this isn't right for me. But I'll never regret that experience. I'll never regret the skills I have. I still have that passion. I still have that love. It's become a real good balance for writing because it's not in my head and it's tactile and it's, there's a physicality to it that writing doesn't have. But like, so it balances me. But yeah, I might not be working in it, but I never regret having done it.
No, I mean,
So
also
I
you need that balance of
yeah,
life and like other
get the fuck
stuff
out
and
of
like
my
other
head.
art and like other interests.
Yeah,
Like cooking and like being a chef is an art form in itself, you know. And at least in my opinion, I mean,
yeah,
just like having to create well flavor combinations and the way like a plate looks and all that shit is to me very akin to all other art forms.
yeah. It's an art. It's a form of storytelling. It's all those things for sure.
Yeah.
100%. It just wasn't the right one for me.
That's fine. Yeah, I really love to paint. It wasn't the right one for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got a comment from Brendan Langle, who has been making a lot of awesome comments. Thank you, Brendan. George
I know this
Straighten
Brenton.
told me 30 Rock was one of the most accurate depictions of TV in Hollywood. Like example, Alec Baldwin's character was put in charge of a TV studio because he sold an oven with 3 kinds of heat. Yeah, that feels like the newer heads of studios, people
Yeah,
that sold like I sold irons. Let's make them. Let's make us. It sounds like the head of Warner Brothers to me. So
David Zaslav.
God damn it, man! Like holy shit. I mean, I'm happy that we're gonna see the Wile E. Coyote movie. I mean, shit. When that happened, so for those of you that don't know what we're about to talk about, um, Warner Brothers made like a really good animated like Looney
Looney Tunes
Tunes
movie.
movie that did amazing in all the test screenings, and then they shelved it for a tax write-off, which
Hmm.
is not only illegal, it's fucking insane to do that with your movie.
Yeah,
And it's not that it was the first time. They also did it with Batgirl the same fucking year.
hmm.
So um I'm just happy that we'll be able to watch it now because it came out of like it was bought by some other
Yeah,
studio.
yeah.
But why would you do that, Susan? What's the fucking reasoning behind that?
Because when they merged and bought and did all the things that have made this town so much worse, there was a significant amount of debt acquired, and Wall Street demands profit, and
Yeah.
so to show that there's some sort of something on your balance sheet or whatever the fuck it's called, they're writing down their debt by, a movie is a risk to put it out. And there's marketing to pay for and all of those other things. And whereas if you shelve it and write it off, then you're not, taking any of those risks. You're just taking the
Just taking a
deduction.
loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you can write off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just like pretty shocking in the fact that it was Looney Tunes. Like it was an IP that people were going to
It's Warner
aggressively.
Brothers. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
their legacy IP. It's
Yeah.
like
They're
one
like,
of
we're
their
just
most
not gonna. Yeah.
valuable IP, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Have like been a huge fucking Bugs Bunny fan. Like, you kidding me? Like I have them memorized from when I would watch them as a kid. Still watch them now, but like, yeah, to Looney Tunes, really? Like, God, that's insane to me.
Yeah. It was a weird move. It was really strange. I mean, obviously, hopefully that's not going to happen anymore because of the backlash. But I guess we'll see. Everything's.
I think business is gonna business, and
I think
I
business
put
is
nothing
is
past
gonna
them.
business. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, like merging the art with business is like always like a tricky thing. Just because there's going to be people that only see art as a way to make money, and there's going to be people that see art for what it's supposed to be used for. I mean, hell, like we were talking about this earlier. Like people still contact me about the tick still
Oh
now,
yeah.
and they tell me that like a lot of people have said that they didn't kill themselves because they watched our show, or they watch our show over and over again because it helps them with their anxiety and their fucking depression and like other
Yeah.
mental illnesses.
Yeah. There's a
And
young woman who I talked to, and I'm not going to say her name or out or anything, who is a huge fan and had suffered a traumatic brain injury in an accident. And the tick, like, was her little, like, ray of sunshine in a really dark period in her life. And I still actually am in contact with her, and we talk. But yeah, I have people reach out to me all the time because I've commented on Reddit things before. When the show was being canceled, there was a lot of misinformation, like, oh, the budget was too high, and it was all these things. And I felt like I needed the truth to be out there because it was a show that was my favorite thing I've ever worked on.
yeah,
And so yeah, but I still get people find me still on Reddit and send me messages about, I just found the show and I can't, yeah, it's you, me, Griffin, we all talk about it. That it, Barry, it breaks our hearts that it sort of got caught up in a change of
regime.
leadership at
Yeah,
Amazon at the time, and we lost our champions, and it's a shame because the world needs the tick. And you and I were saying it earlier. It's like, Ted Lasso came around with its brightness and sunshine, and we had already been out there with our brightness and sunshine and our own unique, brand of weird that really spoke to people.
yeah.
So it's sad. I think it was a big loss in a time when, and a time that continues to need moments of heart and caring and, humor.
I agree. It is still and probably always will be like one of the biggest highlights of my career and life. I mean the tick meant so much to me as a kid. No, just like coming
Yeah.
up in the way that I did. Like the like animated series made me feel normal. It made me feel loved. Like just everything about it made me feel good. And being able to work on it um, was incredible, and everybody
Yeah.
was incredible, and everyone loved it as much as I did. And it was just so fucking special. I mean, we're still connected, and we
Yeah.
talk to each other, and
Yeah.
we're so
Yeah.
interested in what everybody's doing, and I mean, I know that we're all like maybe we can work with each other again soon,
Yeah.
just like trying to figure out how the fuck to do that.
Yeah, this
Um,
is the Tick is the only show where I keep in touch with one person from Preacher, one actress from Preacher, Julianne, and but like generally, like, this Tick is the only one where I keep in touch with a large portion of the cast. I mean, yeah, most of the cast.
yeah, everybody was cool, and like just I don't know, like I guess just how everyone got cast, and I guess how everyone got brought in to like write and produce, and like just everybody was this one, like I don't know, like happy. We were like an amoeba of creativity, really.
Yeah,
Like
it's fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
um, yeah. I have yet to work on a project since that was like that. That was so
yeah, me
collaborative,
either.
especially a TV show. Just how it was. Um, what we got another comment from Brendan. And tell me what really matters: is it the money and the fame, or how many people might actually know your name? But maybe you touch one life, and the world becomes a better place to be.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, it's always amazing to be able to make a living at the thing that you love, for sure. But to know that show specifically, because I was a huge fan of the comics and the animated show and stuff. So, like, yeah, that was a really, really a special little show. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of
Me
everything
too.
we did. I'm proud of that we got our budget cut by 30% in the second season, but yet we made a better season of television.
We did. Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
remember.
it was a. I mean, I think the only negative is that was poor Peter in the suit meant that the stages were so fucking cold. Like it was just sitting with hair and makeup while we're filming. Just like I can remember, like one of the women from makeup gave me one of those like
A
break-in
hand
hand
warmer.
warmer things that you take hunting because it was that fucking cold on set because poor Peter was sweating like crazy in the
Well, how
chick
much did
suit.
the suit weigh? It was like 300 pounds or something crazy?
No,
Or
I think it was pretty. I think the first season it was real bad, but not heavy wise. It's just that it's like being wrapped in saran wrap,
yeah.
and he has servos in his head
Oh, so that the
for
antenna
the
move.
for the
Yeah.
antenna,
Oh,
and those
so he couldn't
generate
hear,
heat,
right?
and they gave him headaches, and so
Yeah.
we totally redid the suit for the second season, and it was much better, but it's still like he's in it for a lot, and it could move. Like the first season, he couldn't really move his arm. Like first season was a bit of a nightmare. Second season was a vast improvement, but it's still like um, it's still tough to be
Y-
wrapped in that suit.
Yeah, I remember in season 1 when we were shooting outside the UN, he had like the suit like cut in half, so that it was only his like front half was in the
Yeah,
suit.
there
Yeah,
was more than one suit. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I
So
remember like walking up to him and like being like, "Where the fuck is where's
your
the back of
ass.
you, man?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, in everybody's second season, you know, Yara and obviously Griffin, like they were in, and Scott, you know, they all had outfits that were kind of toasty and uncomfortable. Yeah, were uncomfortable too. But yeah, Peter was always in that skin,
Yeah.
and it was tough, and it was fucking cold on those stages.
I didn't mind.
Mittens,
So my
mittens.
like face prosthetic stuff was
Yeah,
actually pretty warm.
yeah,
Um, it made me sweaty when we were outside, so I was
yeah.
happy for the cold. But I think yeah, like most of
Yeah.
us had some kind of shit on our body or
Yeah,
like
and Yara
on.
had all the contacts,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
crazy contact
yeah. It's
lenses.
nuts. Yeah, it
So
was cool.
yeah,
Um,
but it
yeah,
was fun.
it was so much fun, and also because we didn't have as much of a budget, we weren't on location as much, so we were
Yeah,
in the studio.
yeah. That's the when we did the my episode, which I to this day I'm so proud of that episode. The we wanted to do a bottle episode on Danger Boat, and I lost one of my best friends during the writing of the Tick.
I
And it was
remember
right
that. Yeah.
before I was originally supposed to write episode 2, and then because she was in the hospital and passed away, I moved to episode 4, and I was able to channel grief and dealing with grief and the emotions I was feeling into Danger Boat and his grief, you know, a gay sentient boat's grief of losing his first partner and his love for Arthur. And so that was real amazing to do. So yeah, budget made us need to do a bottle episode on our sets, and it ended up being the sort of a not perfect storm, because it's nothing perfect about losing your best friend, but like it ended up being such a great gift on so many levels for the show, for me personally. It really, yeah, the budget pushed a bunch of really very creative, smart people into being even more creative, batshit, and smart.
I mean, that is a beautiful episode. It's one of my absolute favorite episodes from season 2. That must have been so cathartic and like just like a wonderful way to honor them and all of that. Like I remember you speaking about it like when we were in that episode, but um you know, you're like trying to shoot your shit out, and you know you don't really like, I guess, understand the like weight of things for like everybody else. But that's that's stupendous. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think for me it sums up what was so special about the Tick, which is, again, it's a gay sentient boat who's in love with a guy in a moth suit, talking about loss and grief, and love. And so, but it's still so pure and in our world and
Yeah,
true to our characters. And I think that's, part of the specialness of the Tick.
it is. It is. It's true. God, what a special fucking show that was, dude.
And it makes me sad. I want it back.
I know. I want to do it again. I would. I would in a fucking
Yeah.
heartbeat. I would.
Hell
I mean, yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, I would
Fuck.
work with everybody that I worked with in the past. I would obviously, Ben is one of my favorite humans on the face of the earth. So I would always drop anything to do something with Ben again. So yeah, it was a real special show.
Was the Tick what you got right after South Park, or was there something in between?
No, I did a lot in between. It's funny. I had such a strange career. South Park, I went, and from South Park, I did a multicam with Reba McEntire and Lily Tomlin.
Oh, wow.
Called Malibu Country, that lasted for a season.
Oh, yeah.
I got to do karaoke with Reba McEntire, and which I don't. And then and work with Lily Tomlin, who is a legend, and who my uncle back in the day. My uncle used to manage the Schubert Theater in Philadelphia. And I have this great old picture of him and Lily together that I was able to bring and show Lily on set of my show. Because my uncle passed away in the 90s from AIDS. So it was sort of this interesting coming together of his past as a producer in theater and my sort of producer, writer in television. It was sort of cool. So I did Malibu Country, and that's what finally got me in the Guild. And then after that, I went on to a Seth MacFarlane animated. It was produced by Seth MacFarlane, but created by one of the writers from Family Guy, called Border Town. And
Border Town.
Yeah, that was a rough experience because it was like the process was not good for me. It was very gag driven. It was 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the morning. It just was like. And I came out of that show like, I don't want to do straight sitcoms again. Like, I need character and story and heart and that stuff to matter. And I went into a real brief run on a Craig Robinson show called Mr. Robinson.
Okay.
It was only like a 6 episode. And then I think might be forgetting things because I'm old and forgetting things.
I'm so old, Susan.
Yeah, I think
like
I think I might have gotten Tick right after that, but I made a real conscious decision with my agency to start trying to move myself more towards dramedy and less towards straight up sitcom, because I really think my voice and my particular talent lends itself to things that are weird and quirky, can be dark, can be bloody, but also have a lot of heart. So I have done every kind of television there is. So I went from Tick to Preacher, from Preacher to The Continental, from The Continental to Magic Order, one version of the Magic Order. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. I just been able to do, if you look at my resume on IMDb, it's sort of like I've worked on 1 hour's multicams, animation, everything. But the through line continues to be things that are left of center, and quirky and have a heart, and a little bit of sense of humor, and possibly some blood.
Some blood, yeah.
It's sort of the things that you can see, even though they're all very, very different shows, they kind of have that connective tissue.
Can we, I made this weird face when you said The Continental. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
I mean, I remember when you got on board with that show, we spoke about it for a bit. And then when Mel came on board, things kind of changed a little bit, changed the whole tenor. And
yeah, the show itself there was another writer's room and another version, and then I got brought into this version. And the version I got brought into, basically had a writing team and another writer as the showrunners. And the other writer, Sean Simmons, who remains one of my great friends and who's a fucking brilliant
Mm.
writer. It just was, the whole process was not great. It was sort of a two-headed beast, and I thought I was pretty firmly in Sean's camp. I'll be honest. And then they changed it from this like 10 episode show to like, oh, we're going to turn it into 8 episodes, less episodes. And then it was like, oh, we're going to take all the episodes and squish them together and make it an event thing of like 3 movies,
Right.
3-night event things. We're going to just squish everything together, which happens a lot nowadays where things get like, we're 10, now they're 8, and they're just like, eh.
Yeah.
And so my episode got pushed together with my friend Stephanie's episode. The whole thing became just a nightmare. And so before Mel Gibson was ever even brought into the process, I was no longer with the show. I mean,
Right.
the room had ended. I had opted out of a deal that would have had Stephanie and I co-writing the episode that was based on our 2 outlines. I was like, I can't, no, I'm out. The money was fucking shit. It just, the whole thing was just like, it had just turned not great, from my perspective. Sean wasn't with it anymore either. So, I walked away and went and did, the Room for Magic Order. And then eventually, we arbitrated to try to get credit because they cut us completely out of it. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I wanted to talk about that, not because I wanted to like shit talk anybody, but
No, it's the business, unfortunately.
It is the business, but also what you did and then how you went about getting arbitration and all that shit is not a thing that a lot of people would have even pursued or done. Like you taking the stand that you did and leaving when you chose to, and then taking back your power, in a way that was really, to me, was really important. Because a lot of creatives will just be like, well, I got shit on, I got stepped on, this didn't turn out the way that it was supposed to. Oh well, I'll just shut the fuck up and move on to the next thing, which is a very much like an old industry mindset. Like it's like the studio and the people involved can just poop in my face and I'll just go thank you and move on to the next thing. And you were one of the first people that I saw, at least in my sphere, push back in a way that made a lot of sense and that was really intelligent and was what was best for you as a person, as a woman, and as a creative. So God damn it, Susan, you're like a pioneer. But
actually, lots of people I think do it. I think it was, I'm not. I think I have a this is a really small town. It gets smaller and smaller, but like I've always wanted a reputation of being collaborative, good to work with, honest, dependable, like all the things, right? I'm not looking to shit on anybody, and I certainly, I know that people talk and call around to your mutual contacts to make sure that you're not an asshole, and I believe in an asshole-free zone in any room I run. So it's like, I forgot I also ran a show in between all this. But like, I just felt like I felt like I wasn't sure I was going to win. In fact, Stephanie and I went in it together as partners. And the odds were very much not in our favor, but it just felt so egregious. And I was like, I don't care if I win. I need to be a bee in someone's bonnet on this shit, because it was like we didn't exist. They cut out the women and the black guy
Yeah.
from the credits.
Yeah.
That's who didn't get the credits suddenly. And so it wasn't just me and Stephanie, it was Mark Bernard and two. And we sort of formed a triumvirate of like vengeance demons to like just say, hey, we see this, it's not cool, and yeah, we might not win, but like I guess I get real upset in this business when people are greedy.
Mm.
Because as writers and as creatives, there's enough to go around, right? Like as a showrunner, I don't have to slap my name on everything. The fact that I'm the showrunner and getting my EP title means my hands are clearly all over this, my fingerprints, my whatever. And my team is my team, and I'm going to have their fucking back in the writer's room and with studio and with network. And that's my job. My job isn't to take credit and payments away from other writers and other people doing this. And I saw an injustice with how credits were being handled, and thought it was bullshit. So, and so did Mark, and so did Stephanie, and so we leveraged, what little power we had to fight back, and it was a pain in the ass. And we did not get the writing credits, but we did ultimately get our, like I got my co-EP, and Mark and Stephanie got their credits actually on the episodes, which we originally had been removed from. So we had small victory, but not a complete one. And it was worth the stress and the pain in the ass of it, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and I'm happy that it happened, and I'm happy that you got something from it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because like we need our fucking residuals to live, and when you put your ass on the line for a thing, you should just get your basic agreement shit. Like, it's just the
Yeah,
way that.
I just wanted my there was so much in those episodes that was mine, that I pitched in the room, and that was in my outline, that was utilized, and so many, and characters I created, and they were saying we didn't do that, that they had totally redone. I'm like, I no. So it really came down to not money at all. There's no money from it. I get nothing, but I wanted our work to be recognized.
Yeah, and it should be.
Yeah,
Um, can you talk about ElfQuest at all?
I cannot right now. Sorry, Brenton.
All right. Well, that's fine. We can talk about anything else. But
I have I'm developing another animated show at Netflix. That's a family thing. I don't know if I can say what that is, but for DreamWorks, and it's over at Netflix, and
that's
that's
cool.
more of a 4-quad show that's got a little horror in it and some other cool stuff. So yeah.
He
Brenton.
says, "Darn,
Yeah,
darn."
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, Brenton.
yeah. So I like to ask this of people that are working and like operating at a high level in the industry every show. What advice do you have for young writers coming out of school and entering the industry now? It is a totally different world. It's
Yeah.
hard to meet people now, and it's totally fucking digital. Do you have any advice on how to break in now?
It's such a fucking tragic time for young writers. I think it, the thing that always, I think that talent speaks, and that even in this environment, if you write your voice in something that's uniquely you, and you work on the craft, and you hone those skills, and then you find people and get fans. Do you know what I mean? Of people that will help you and read you and whatever. But it really comes down to the script itself. I have a script I wrote that will probably never get made, and and it's gotten me so many of my jobs.
Oh
And
wow.
because I wrote me on the page, and I not for any other reason except it was something I wanted to write, and it's me. And it's unique and it's weird and it's a little dark and it's funny and it's female driven and it's a bunch of things, and it got me my tick job and it got me my preacher job, and it's done other things. So my advice is to write put it on the page, write the story that is your voice, and write it in a way that only you can tell, and then try to get it to people who could champion you, which I know is the hard part, but people
Yeah.
will read. People do want to help. So, yeah, it really comes down to the writing for me.
So how do you navigate when you are trying to cultivate your like own unique voice, especially on TV, where you're in a room with multiple writers trying to execute your show runner's vision? How do you hold on to your uniqueness while still executing um, and staying in the same world, the same lane without like blowing out and like horrible deviating from the
Yeah,
overall vision?
I get it.
Yeah,
I think that, I learned it because I think one of the reasons I survived at South Park as long as I did, because it was notoriously, uh, people have short-lived stays on the show, but was because I realized really quickly the thing that has become my mantra in this business, which is it's not about me, it's about the show.
sure,
So South Park's done in 6 days. I'm not gonna be the fucking funny one with Matt and Trey. I'm not gonna be like, whatever. What is my path to helping them get this show done in 6 days? And for me, it was story and character, and sort of finding my lane and using my unique skills in a way that helped the show get done. And I think that that's what good writers and writers' rooms do, right? You can pitch your own crazy take, your whatever, but always remembering that you're there to get a show done.
sure.
And it's not about your idea, it's not about your joke, your whatever. And you getting that in the show, it's about what can you do to help get the show done and get it done well. And I think that there's room within that to pitch the things that are your unique voice and your unique take. Um, but as long as you do that in a way that respects why you're there, which is it's not about you, it's
It's about
about
the
the
show.
show,
Yeah,
then you'll find a way to put yourself into the room in a way that's valuable.
that makes a lot of sense. Everybody that's on a show is you would hope is trying to make the show uh, work and make it the best possible thing that it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
So
got to take ego out of it if you can. And it's hard because it's a really vulnerable place to be. And even as long as you do this, you still have imposter syndrome. You still have doubt. We're all fucking writers because we're weirdly broken in some way. I'm sure it's the same with
actors are
actors.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Woo.
so we're vulnerable. And so sometimes you can lose your way, and get too caught up in trying to feed your own shit versus using your shit to feed the show.
Makes sense. And the imposter syndrome shit is so real. Like
Yeah.
just across the board. Like the most successful people that I know have the biggest imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking have it. I'll be real.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and it's like you and I we work all time, and it's like you're just waiting for the person to be like, you're a fucking fraud, you piece of shit.
Yeah,
Like,
they're going to see I can't really write. Oh,
yeah, oh
shit.
my god,
After
yeah.
15 years in this business, they're going to see I can't write.
Yeah, they'd be like, this dude's just loud. And be like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm just loud. It's true. No,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I hand in
yeah,
a script if it's not my show that I'm running, and I'm like, oh, fuck, they're going to hate, like you still do that. It's sort of the nature of sharing art and putting yourself out there. There's always a vulnerability to it. And it's,
yeah.
it's, it's hard to move past that.
I do. But there's also an aspect of like people that are successful in our industry, it's people that are always curious and like always want to do better and be better and
Mhm.
either write better or do a better
Always.
scene. And I feel like those two things unfortunately go hand in hand. Like when you're overconfident, you stop. You
Mhm.
stop making good choices, stop learning, and you don't grow.
Yeah.
And then like you can't do anything anymore. You can't work anymore because you don't have anything to offer. I wish there I wish there was a better way for it to manifest, but it seems sort of exclusively like it's like I have this to offer, but I'm shit because I don't know anything, but I do and I want to, like it. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's and you have your moments. It definitely goes up and down. But I think that one of the things that has enabled me, and I think a lot of people who have some longevity in this business, is we have the ability, the strange, fucked up ability to run headfirst into brick walls, feel sad for a second, and then get back up, shake it off, and do it again. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, and that includes the vulnerability, that includes the insecurity, that includes the failures, that includes the getting fired. It's not a straight line, and
no,
it definitely, being able to get back up and keep doing it is one of the most important skills for doing this for a living.
it's true. It is resilience, perseverance, and
Stupidity.
stupidity. Yeah. So I have a question that I have never asked
Sure.
about the tick. So Frank, who I played, was originally written as a 2 episode henchman that was going to blow up. Why did you guys keep Frank?
We
Do
like
you even
you.
remember? Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, well, what I remember was we liked you, and we thought that out of the goons that were there, Frank Frank had a sweetness and like an inherent love for her, and that was fun to have around the crazy that is Miss Lint.
Yeah.
And you sort of embodied, like, I'm a thug, I got a heart, and
Yeah.
there was that weird mix of sweetness and I'm a thug who's willing to go shoot people for you, playing against Yara's crazed harpy, that really worked and really sort of fit so well in the tick world.
Well, that's cool. So I actively tried to do that. My first episode, and I got yelled at a lot for it, by by the director that was on. I won't say name or whatever.
Yeah, first
But
season we had, we had
yeah,
some issues with some first
but
season
it was
stuff.
like my first like week on the show, I was like, I'm gonna play Frank like this. This is how I feel that he is. Because I have history with like the I know the work, I know the world, I know the comic book, like
Right.
all that stuff. I was like, I feel like this is who this guy is, and like I would get like, stop smiling, stop being happy, stop doing this stuff, just like blah blah blah, like all that, like constantly. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to like,
Yeah. Well,
like,
and
you're
what's
gonna have
funny
to
is
fucking fire
if
me.
I remember what director it is, that person was not asked back second season, but you were.
Yes, no, yeah, she didn't come back, but but yeah, it was a cool experience because so Charlie, who became like one of the like head costume people for
Yeah. I
first
mean,
first
Charlie.
team. So Charlie worked with me at the Metropolitan Opera.
Oh wow,
Um
I didn't know that.
and yeah, so he was my costumer there. So when I got on the tick and he was on the tick, we like hugged each other and cried. And then I remember
God, we
for
had great crew too.
season 2, he called me, and I didn't even know that I was on the show again yet. But he called me and like he was like, "Josh, did you get your contract yet?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, the cast wall is all the series regulars and you, and that's all who's up there now. Did you get your contract yet? And I was like, "No, but I guess I'm getting another." I'm getting another season.
I
Um,
didn't know that.
and it was one of the coolest things ever. Like just um I'm trying not to cry, but like it was one of
Aw.
the coolest things ever just because of how much the tick means to me. And then kind of having an idea that like I got recognized for, I guess, understanding the world,
Mhm.
and then also like being like a person that people wanted to be around
Yeah,
felt really good.
yeah.
Um,
And we expanded Frank a lot
I
for
know,
second
yeah, I was
season.
so excited for season 3, 4, 5, like, and like I was excited anyway. Like Frank got so expanded, and like um, I was pitching like getting my arms ripped off and like all this crazy shit for for the next coming seasons. But yeah, it was great, and I appreciate that. That was why, like you're like always afraid to ask like why. Was it because someone was sick and you didn't have a choice? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I mean, there. I think most shows, but I mean, on Tick, very conscious decisions
yeah.
about,
No, it's true.
what we wanted to do with the second season. And then when we had, we originally had the terror coming back in some way, but we couldn't afford to have the terror come back. So, you know what I mean? So it was like we shifted on how we were gonna deal with Miss Lint and what we wanted to build around Miss Lint and how we wanted to build her.
Yeah,
And that included needing and wanting somebody that had a relationship with her. And so Frank was the best person to do that with.
yeah. It was cool.
It
I'll
was
remember
fun.
it forever.
Yeah, I still remember being on set. Still remember the motel
Oh
set
yeah,
with
the
you and
the
Jill.
Lalo Motel
Mm-hmm.
with the volcano on it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shit. Ugh.
I know.
God damn it. Fuck.
But no, I had dinner with Barry. Barry, for people know, was our non-writing executive producer.
There, yeah.
Ben and Griffin, because Griffin was in town with his girlfriend, who's lovely, by the way. Griffin has
Hmm.
a girlfriend. Hi, Griffin.
Hi, Griffin.
Uh, just being with everybody again, it's just like, yeah, it's just real hard not to get bummed about it. But like also like, yeah, I'm still like all these years later, I'm still having dinner with Barry, Ben, and Griffin. You know,
We should develop something. Let's just fucking do it.
yeah, always would love to.
Fuck yeah.
Would love to. Griffin and I are talking.
Yeah. We should talk let's just all talk and fucking figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
We're live, but yeah.
let's do it.
No, yeah.
That'd be
Okay,
fun.
cool. Yeah, let's fucking do it. That'd be sick.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get back on. I miss set. I love animation. It's always been a passion of mine. I'm super happy to have the work. I'm super happy to be working so much in animation again right now. But like one of my true loves is production and being on set. So I miss that. So I need to get my live action shit back in gear.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that if we can make a thing for like $2 million, it'll get bought by any studio and then put on a streamer. So
We'll talk to
stupid,
Barry.
stupid industry.
All that Bones money. Come on, Barry.
Yeah, all that Bones money that he has just in his mattress.
Yeah, I'll just hand that out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been an hour. It's that we've been talking. We officially did it. So
We did it.
we did it. We spoke for an hour and we talked about a whole bunch of cool
We
shit.
did.
Um
Except for
thank you
ElfQuest. Sorry, Brendan.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about not being able to talk about ElfQuest, but that was announced, which is why I even mentioned the name. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said anything.
No worries.
Yeah. Are you amped for the new Fantastic Four?
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know
a
either.
DC girl, so I'm more amped to see what they're going to do with the DC universe.
I'm excited. I'm excited for James Gunn's stuff.
Yeah, I'm guarded. The Superman trailer looks fun. Crypto,
Well, we've been hurt a lot. We've been hurt a lot.
But yeah, we have been damaged. I mean, Batman, who's my fave, has been, consistently okay. So yeah, we'll see. see what happens. But no, Fantastic Four, I don't know. It's never been my jam, but I'm sure I'll go see it because I'm a nerd and I will do that.
I just like the Thing, like, a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, obviously, I tried to play him, so
I
yeah,
know.
like, obviously,
I know.
I like him, but I
Yeah.
just hope they don't make him like an idiot, or they don't like do anything
No,
with him.
it's. I mean, it's. Evan Moss Backrack, and I'm saying his name completely wrong. Sorry, Evan. I'm sure you're watching. Um, and he
Evan is not
is
watching.
he's got he's such a good actor, and he's
Yeah,
such
he's
so much
fantastic.
heart in everything he does. So I can't imagine having him and not utilizing his talent. And from what I see from the trailers, it seems like they're really tapping into sort of some of the pathos of the character, and
Yeah, which is
I
great.
think that's important.
I mean, they're putting all their eggs in this basket, so it's like gotta work. So I guess we'll see.
I don't know if the Fantastic Four is the thing that people necessarily respond to, but I'm not a Marvel gal. I mean, I do love all the Marvel stuff, but like growing up, it was DC comics that I read more than I read Marvel comics. So, and that whole bastion of superheroes was
No, same.
my
Yeah,
jam.
I came up on like Batman and that whole world, like
Yeah.
Wonder
So
Woman, Flash. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So Fantastic Four was. I mean, I knew them, and whatever, and I remember the old cartoons, but like, yeah, it didn't speak to me as much. So we'll see. We'll see.
you'll
It
see.
could be fucking great. I don't know.
I hope so.
Looks
I like Pedro. I
love
like
him.
everybody in the cast.
Yeah, Vanessa Kirby. Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
cast. So we'll see.
I guess we'll see. Well, on that note,
All right.
thank you so much for being here, for speaking to
Happy
me
to
for an
finally get a
hour.
chance to do it and hang out.
Yeah, and I'll speak to you soon.
You will.
Okay,
Bye.
farewell. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for all of your comments and for all of your attention. Just to kind of echo what I said in the beginning, organize, find your people, and let's make the world a more progressive and equitable place. Until next week, bye bye. Thank you for watching the live stream live. Mwah.